Hello, I'm Marie. I'm one of the Directors of Studies and I'm going to give you some information about your course at IH Manchester. We're going to look at the types of classes you will have and I'll give you some advice about how to learn and how to study both in class and outside of class. So I'm part of the academic management team. So myself and Joseph are both Directors of Studies and together with John, the Principal, we're here to help you with anything to do with your classes and your study at the school. If you have any questions or any problems or you need any help with anything, maybe with Zoom to access your class, maybe with Microsoft Teams, anything, please send a message on the school WhatsApp and we'll be able to help you. So our skills classes take place in the morning UK time. And in these classes we really focus on using skills, developing our skills. So in reading, writing, listening and speaking. There will be a little bit of vocabulary and grammar as well, but the main focus is on skills. In these classes we use mainly IELTS preparation materials, so they are really good for students who are preparing to take the IELTS exam. However, they are also general enough, so if you are doing a different exam or you don't need to take an exam, you will still be able to improve your language skills. So for example, in a writing lesson, you can practice a task for the IELTS exam, but if you are just wanting to learn general English, you will be able to practice your writing skills in general. In all of our classes, there is a lot of pair work and group work, so students work together, discuss together, for example, in a speaking task, maybe doing another activity together. And a lot of it is learning the language through communication. So the teacher will often ask students to work together, to discuss together, because this is a way for students to practice speaking more, using the language more, and to help you to learn faster. In the afternoon UK time, we have our general English classes. So in these classes, we are also practicing some skills, but there is more focus on grammar and vocabulary. So for example, there might be a grammar lesson where the focus is on past simple, present continuous, etc. And in that class, there might be some speaking to practice or some writing to practice, but more of the focus is on grammar and vocabulary. And again, as with the skills classes, there's a lot of group work, pair work, a lot of learning through communication. All of our classes are all in English. We have international students from around the world in our classes, and the language we have in common is English. So the teacher will always speak in English in the class. Students should always speak in English to the teacher and to each other. This means that everybody can understand each other. It's more polite. We can understand what all the students are saying. But it's also the best way to learn. The more you practice, the faster you will learn and improve your English. And it helps to create a nice positive atmosphere. Don't worry if you feel scared to speak or you're worried about making mistakes. Everybody is in the same situation. And the important thing is that you try, you do your best to speak English. The teachers will help you, other students will help you. So don't worry if you feel shy at the beginning. It's natural, but the more you speak, the easier it will be. So what do you need to study? To join your class on Zoom, it's better if you have a computer, if possible. You will be able to see the screen better, the activities better. But if not, you can join the class with a phone or a tablet. You need to make sure you have a good internet connection. If you have headphones, that will be better. You'll be able to hear the class more easily. And check that you have a webcam that works. We ask students where possible to turn on your webcam. It's much easier for the teacher to help you with things if they can see you, they can see if you are confused, if you have a question. It just makes a better learning environment in general if students have their webcam on, so if possible. It's important you find a quiet, comfortable place to study, so not somewhere with lots of noise, with other people speaking to you, distracting you, a place that you can concentrate on your class. And have a notebook and pen so that you can make notes during the class. You will have notes from the whiteboard, we'll see in a moment, from the class. But if you are also taking notes, this will help you to learn and to remember, and you will have more things to study from afterwards. Make sure you are ready in time. Have your computer set up, your notebook, your pen, etc. So make sure you are on time for your class. If you are a little bit late, it's still okay to join the class, but it can cause some problems for the teacher, for the other students, When students join late, it disrupts the class a little bit. So please, as much as possible, make sure you are on time for your class. We have a rule where after 15 minutes, it's too late to join the class. One thing, because you will have missed the beginning of the class, so it might be difficult to follow and join in the activities. And as I said, for the teacher and the other students, it disrupts the flow of the class if lots of people join late and join throughout the lesson. So after 15 minutes, we ask you to wait for the next class. It's too late. If you have an appointment or if you're sick, if there is a good reason that you can't come to your class, please talk to an academic manager, so to myself or to Joseph. You can send us a message on Teams or an email, and then it's possible we can excuse you and you can do the class another time. In all of our classes, we use a digital whiteboard. So the teacher will upload this to Microsoft Teams on Monday. It's one document for that class for the whole week. So there will be one page per day. This is where the teacher will write notes during the class. The teacher will maybe display activities and other things that you need for the lesson. Maybe links to materials, to a video, for example, that you use during the class. These are on Teams and you can always access them. So after class, the week after the class, you can see the notes again. You can use them to review, to practice. It's a really good way to study outside of class. We suggest that you download this and save it at the end of the week. So when all the days are completed, and then you have these for future reference. If you would like more information, you can see our video on using Microsoft Teams. So you can see how to find the whiteboard, how to save it, etc. This is an example, so there will be an aim at the top of the class. You will always see the date, you will see the aim, you might see a link to the materials, you will see activities, you will see vocabulary, maybe feedback, corrections that the teacher writes during the class. It's a really good tool for studying after lessons. At the bottom of the whiteboard documents, you will also find a list of websites. These are all links to self-study websites. So if you want to see how to practice more grammar, how to practice more listening, dictionary website, etc., look at the bottom of the whiteboard and you can follow these links. Each class, each week has a weekly study plan. This is to help you see the plan for the week. So again, teachers will upload this to Microsoft Teams on Monday. You can see the focus of the class, if it's grammar, if it's vocabulary, if it's speaking, etc. You can see the materials. So if you have a book, you can have a look again at the materials. This is really helpful, especially if you miss a class and you want to catch up. You want to do the same activities. You can use this to help you. Again, look at the video on Microsoft Teams if you want to see where to find this on your class team. For materials, so for your general English or your skills classes, we have ebooks. Again, we have a video on how to access, how to download your book. Teachers will also share the materials that you need during class, but this is to do extra study at home, to review again, maybe to do homework. And we have the IH Campus, which is a self-study platform for students to do more practice, more grammar, more vocabulary, etc. Very useful if you are preparing for an exam and you would like to do more, for example, IELTS reading or more Cambridge use of English, etc. See the video on IH Campus to find out more about accessing and using that. So how can you learn well? During class, it's a good idea to take notes, not just listen to what the teacher is saying, but make notes of important points. Please ask questions during class. Teachers like it when students ask questions. So if you have a question about the material, the grammar, the vocabulary, or about something completely different, please ask your teacher. As we said before, use English only. Even if it's difficult and you're not sure, do your best to try to speak in English. Review what you learn every day. If you see something in class and you don't review it, it's very possible that you will forget. It will just be gone from your head. So after class, use the whiteboard, use your notes, review, especially with grammar, with vocabulary. You need to practice so that you will learn and remember. Teachers will set you homework. The homework is to help you, again, to learn and practice more. So please do your homework. And make sure you organize your notes so that they are helpful. Maybe with the topic, the date of the class, so that you can easily find things again afterwards. You should also find a way that helps you to learn vocabulary. Different students learn in different ways. So maybe for you, using pictures is a good idea. Maybe writing a sentence with the vocabulary. Maybe marking down things that are difficult for you with the pronunciation or with the meaning. If you find a system that works for you, you'll be able to learn vocabulary more quickly, more easily. For our general English classes, we use colours to label the class. So purple is the lowest level and red is the highest. We use the CEFR, so the European Framework of Levels here, from A1 to C2. So if you join the orange class, for example, you will be working at B1 level and moving to B2. Teachers or the academic managers will decide the best class for you when you complete the level test, the placement test, before you start classes. And if you have any problems, if you think the class is too easy or too difficult, again, please speak to us, speak to the academic managers, and we can see if this class is right for you. We can help you to see where you can learn the best. It's really important. There are 3 stages that you go through when you are learning things in class. So the first stage is I know it. So the first time you see something in the class, you see exercises in the book, maybe you think, yeah, I know this grammar, I know past simple, it's okay. But there is a difference between knowing something on the page in the book and using it correctly and accurately in your natural use of English. So there are 3 stages. Students see something in class, they know it. The next stage is that they can use it, but maybe they need help from the teacher. Maybe they forget when they're speaking normally, but when they're doing an exercise in class, they can do it. And finally, I do it. This is the last stage where it's automatic. You don't need to think about it. You can use the grammar, you can use the vocabulary correctly. So teachers are always listening to students to see when they are at these different stages. It's really important that you get to the I do it stage with the grammar and vocabulary, especially when you think about moving level, moving to a different class, for example. Teachers need to see that you can automatically use the language you have studied in this particular class. So teachers will constantly monitor students' progress in class. When students speak, teachers will be listening. On a Friday in the general English, there is usually a review activity, so students can practice, often in speaking or writing. They can practice the grammar and the vocabulary from this week. Teachers will give personalized feedback on Microsoft Teams. So every 2 weeks, students will receive some feedback, some specific feedback from their teacher about what is going well and what they can do to improve, to continue to study. If you would like to discuss your progress, if you have questions or you want to know what you can do to improve more, please send a message to reception and we can arrange to have a meeting. Outside of class, there are also lots of things that you can do. So we have a list of things here. On the class team, there is a list of additional resources. So these are websites that you can use to practice different skills, grammar, vocabulary. Writing in English is a really useful thing. You could write about your day, you could write your shopping list in English, you could write an essay about the topic you studied in class. You can send your writing to your teachers on Teams if you would like some feedback. Speaking and recording yourself is another really good thing to do. So you can use your phone, you can use the voice recorder, listen back to yourself. Often students don't realize mistakes that they are making or things with pronunciation until they can listen and hear themselves. You could read news articles, you could use the list of resources on Teams to find reading practice, read blogs in English, etc. There are so many things that you can find online now to practice reading, to practice listening. You could watch TV or films in English, you could listen to podcasts, you can use the TED Talks website, you could write to your classmates on Teams, you could send messages, so you're practicing writing this way. If you want to improve quickly, it's really important you practice as much as possible outside of class. At the school, we have other things that you can do to help you practice more. So we have a conversation club every Wednesday. There will be a topic, students speak together and discuss. So it's not a class, but it's just an opportunity to speak and practice English. If you're preparing for the IELTS exam, we also have a weekly IELTS assignment. So this is maybe part of a reading paper or a writing task. You can find that on the IELTS team. again, ask me or Joseph if you would like more information. If you complete the task, we will give you some feedback and the answers to the task. The Irish Campus I mentioned already. You can do extra practice exercises for different skills, grammar, vocabulary. And every week we have social activities. We maybe have a quiz, a games night, learning how to do something. You can find this information on Teams, or again, see our social activities video to find out more. So that's everything that I have to say. We really hope that you enjoy your course, enjoy your classes at IH Manchester. Please remember, if you have any problems, any questions, you would like help with anything, send a message or call on the number here. Thanks very much.